Hi, Tony Daly, Santarelli Exchange. And in this video, we're going to take it to the next level and we're going to move forward with our education on technical analysis and the study of charts and price levels and good stuff like that. So in the first video, we talked about basically being able to look at a chart with nothing but pure price bars on it and make a determination whether the stock has been generally moving in an upward direction, a downward direction, or a sideways direction, and then deciding based on how we like to trade, what would we be looking for or how would we trade that stock. So if we look at Google, hopefully you've had a chance to look at a lot of stocks, you start to train your eyes and things become very apparent to you. So we go to our price level, which is the easiest thing to draw. Well, let's go to the first level of support. We look at where we've made turns, where we have made turns. So right here, this is going to serve as a level of support. Where we jumped up over here, this is also going to be a level of support. The high is always a level of resistance. This is also going to be a level of resistance. So what we have developed now is a couple of price channels. And these price channels will serve as support and resistance point for the stock as it goes forward. And you could use these as price targets, whether you're going to buy calls, whether you're going to buy puts. These are places where you could pretty much predict where price is at least going to pause. Okay, moving on. Let's take a look at another stock. Let's take a look at Disney. Okay, here's Disney. Now, it should immediately jump out at you that this stock is clearly in a downtrend. I mean, this stock has been hated since its 120 level, and it has dropped all the way to 90. I mean, this has been like a 20-30% retrace. Okay, but it seems to have maybe found a bottom here. So let's put our price levels in. So the first one I see is basically here. Okay, we've had our reversal here. We've had a little bit of a top here. This was a reversal level. And then further up the chain, there are also spots. But I could see that if Disney makes a little bit of reversal here, its first point of stopping is going to be right here, because what is support becomes resistance on the way up. So I know at 95.82 where it is right now, I know the stock has a potential to reverse at 97.5. So interestingly enough, that is where I would look at a price target on the short-term basis. Now there's another, I'm going to add another technical analysis tool, which is called the trend line. And the trend line is basically where you take a top and then you extend it down. And what you're doing is you're extending it down and you're making at least 2 touches. 3 is better, but this line will also serve as a price level. And you can have more than one. You can start it here and you could go down and make touches across the way. And these serve as just significant points of support and resistance. So it's just another way that you can add technical analysis tools. Let's look at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs also downtrend. Okay, we have reversed and we have moved up 10 points in just 4 trading days. We've had 4 positive trading days. So possibly we might be looking at a reversal here. So if we're looking at a reversal, we need to draw our support and resistance lines. So as we get ready, we're going to look at our first one is going to be right here, because here was a reversal, and we're always going to have our bottom as our support level. So in the short term, I've just defined my first stopping point or area where I would expect price to pause, and that will be right at around $167. So we're at 160, 156 now. We're at support at about 152. And this would be my price range. If Goldman were to reverse, I would expect it to come down to this level. If Goldman's going to continue up, I will expect it to pause at this level right here. Now, does it always do that? It doesn't always do that, but these are pretty reliable points only because they become self-fulfilling prophecies, because everybody sees them and everybody uses them. My trend line tool, I will also add a trend line to kind of show me where we might be going in the future if it keeps on continuing in this direction. Because once we have 2 touches, 3 touches is very, very significant, and you could expect price to reverse off of that also. So, very interesting when you're doing technical analysis and you're trying to predict price levels here. But you just got to keep doing it. Here's Amazon. Amazon has been very erratic, so we have been in an uptrend, and then notice how we just moved sideways. We've done sideways movement, and then we fell down, we've gapped up, and now we fell down again, but price seems to have bottomed out over here based on this candle here. So how would I trade Amazon? Well, right now, after earnings, I would let it settle in a little bit, but we have some clearly defined levels on Amazon too. We have a price level down here. We have a price level here, which we have broken, and we've came back down. And then we have a couple of resistance levels up ahead, which is a fair amount of price away. So what we're basically doing is we're defining little price channels for ourselves that we want to trade in between. Okay, it becomes very easy to see after a while. Now these are old lines that we've had on from other price points. But here we're looking at Baidu. If we're looking at Baidu, we were in a this is a price channel moving all the way down. So the first thing I want to do is I could certainly set my price levels, but I also want to use the trend line tool here because I want to set some floors on the bottom here. So I'm going to draw a channel line there. I'm going to define, I've got some points right here. So we're in this channel right here, and then from a price level standpoint, I'm just going to draw a couple of price levels here and a bottom down here, and then just basically trade in between. So what we're really doing is we're looking at price past history, and we're setting some targets and boundaries for ourselves, and we're letting price define itself, and we're just looking to take it forward. So this is the formation of technical analysis. And you know, you could see it's just one chart after another, but once you've seen these charts, you look at it and you base your targets on what you're seeing. And here I see we made 2 tops up here, so I will just take a price level and I'll draw it across that top, and that's my price target. My price target is simply going to be this level. Why? Because I've come up and hit this price, and then I've tested this price again and it's failed off of it. So it kept falling down. It seems to have made a bottom here. Now it's moving back up, and I'd say at about 102 is going to be my first price target. So on the upside, 102 is my price target. My stop would be around 92.50, and I would trade in between this range right here. So this is basically what technical analysis is all about, is charting and just drawing your trend lines and looking in between if we have an opportunity. And it's as simple as that. So what do we do with this? Well, we look at price going forward, and we look at what the market is doing, and I set these targets for myself, and when I do calls and puts, I could basically set my spreads in between these levels right here, because I kind of have a feeling that I think I know where price is going to pause, and I could just set my strikes accordingly. If I think price is going to keep on going, I won't use the spread. I'll just use the call or the put and let it just take it as far as it wants to go. So interestingly enough, that is how we do it. Now, our next video, what we're going to do is we're going to start introducing indicators. And what the indicators are going to do is it's going to confirm for us what we're seeing on the charts and give us a little more confidence on how to take the trade. Okay? See you in the next video. Thanks.